enjoy.
Let's restart recording anyway.
Yeah, I've done.
They're both, so don't turn itself off.
Both recording now. Clap the zinc.
There we go. Right, Stuart's in frame.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in frame.
Excellent. So the question for us is, why do we love retro gaming?
Who's done?
Bye!
Bye! Yes!
Shall we start that again?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So what you get to say, you're going to go to me first, go to Stuart,
Okay.
so rhythm going.
Well, should we just introduce ourselves as well?
Yeah, of course. This is a video for your channel, right?
No, it's for this other guy's Nicholas Westwood.
Oh, is he a Patreon or something, or?
No, he just wrote to me and asked because he has got a YouTube channel and does.
Oh, right,
He's
okay.
asked
So
if
you just give him.
He couldn't get hold of you, by the way. He doesn't know how to contact you, so.
Good, keep it that way.
Okay.
So is this video just for him?
Well, for his channel, yeah.
Okay.
He's doing like an archive. He's asked a few people.
Oh, I see now. I know. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Pocket dog.
Hello. Hello, Nick. Hello. Spent 10 minutes shit talking you, so.
We can cut that
Yeah,
bit.
I've never heard you. God, Larry hates you. Fucking hell.
Enough now.
Jesus Christ.
He won't pay me anymore. So yeah, the question is, why do we love retro games? I think a lot of the reason is because we actually grew up with the games as well. So that sort of a nostalgia for us of being with them at the time when they're brand new.
That's always a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nostalgia is a big motivator.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly a big seller of plastic shit at the moment.
Oh, definitely. I think for me though, it's always going to be like 16-bit era for me of retro gaming stuff, because it's like I was born in '82, but I didn't get into games for like the late, like probably '89, 1990.
Yeah.
But I did get a Commodore 64. So that should essentially be
Was that
my
how-
nostalgia in 8-bit. But it was nowadays I look upon that sort of early 90s as my nostalgia because it's 16-bit graphics, which still look great today. If you look at the 32-bit generation,
Yeah.
all the 3D stuff just looks garbage. I don't have that sort of connection to it, apart from like the fighting games like by Capcom during that period in SNK. So I buy like Retro Gamer and stuff like that. So I like looking through the sort of making ofs on games that were from early 90s.
There's best of us stuff that's got left out as well. That's interesting stuff.
Definitely.
Something I like about the old retro stuff, especially when we're going back sort of mid-80s and before, you can get such a good idea for how a game works and sometimes even complete it in like 15 minutes. So it's really nice to go back, find this crazy old stuff you've never heard of, think, oh god, this is terrible, oh this is really good. But it's you can go through them so rapidly and just go through a load of different bits and, you know, pick up all these games you've never heard of, get a good idea of them. Whereas like a modern game, if you haven't got 35 hours, you can't get through the tutorial. You know. So, I've got to invest so much time. Whereas back then you can just go in, whip out a few games you've never heard of, see what they're like, and there's so many of the bloody things. There's always something new to discover.
Yeah. That's weird, isn't it? That sometimes you get a bit sad that it wasn't like your childhood as well. That there was a game out there.
There is this kind of warped perspective that sort of certain games consoles were very much like very easy to get hold of, or just like in nostalgia, or was always kind of was there in the game shops. But things like Neo Geo and things like that, it was always the back of the magazine, have an advertisement, probably some like, I can't remember who it would be now, like back then, it would be probably some like sort of privately owned sort of store advertising. Maybe Neo Geo, like, it would just say cool. You never say the price. Oh, I'm not gonna bother. It'd be like 500 quid or something.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Yes.
But nostalgia stuff was always like add to what we could buy in the shops or from magazines was retro. It was import games.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a big scene. Now importing games now is no longer a thing, really.
No. Well, they got their arse in gear and release. They had a timely release.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, you're lucky. I mean, UK release is like 6 months to a year if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's within a week. So nobody's going to import a game that doesn't come out for another week. So.
It was everyone's obsession. Like, you know, I had literally 5 friends back in the early 90s import Street Fighter 2 for the Super Famicom, paying £100 for it. Plus, I started to get the converter to play it on their PAL console. When you played like the PAL Street Fighter 2, it was like Lawrence of Arabia aspect ratio. You know, it was just so wide. It was just like it was so slow as well. That's what I hate about the old PAL stuff. When you go to these Expos and I've hooked up the console, like a PAL console. It's like, oh, this is so slow and shit, you know.
That's
But
what we had.
That's what we had.
That's what 99% of us had.
Yeah.
I think you say about some of the stuff being very spot on with things like the PC engine. It was like when you saw a single blurry photo in the back of the camera, like it was fucking Bigfoot or something. There's been a sighting of an EOG or a PC engine.
Yes.
You know?
More than a packet of skips.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember they reviewed Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition on the PC Engine in CBG. All the photos, you can probably go find a PDF of the magazine. All the photos all look slightly blue and purple.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is it slightly blue and purple? Is it because they couldn't take the photo properly of the image?
I think this is what I mentally had the image of when I was just saying about the blue, because I remember them being purplish.
And I thought, what's the PC Engine version? Look all purple and shit. And they play it on the console, it's fine.
Literally, they just grabbed their camera, quickly snapped to the television.
They criticised it in a review, like the graphics. I remember them saying, oh, this is slightly blue or purple. I was like, what? And that was like, you know, CVG used to have like the pros and cons for the graphics, visual, gameplay.
So basically, they hadn't seen one.
It felt like it.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
See screenshots. They reviewed the screenshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Integrity
I think
and journalism.
I think a lot of the thing is missing from nowadays from gaming is a lot of the console market was focused on Japanese, and nowadays it's America.
Mm.
The game, all the games published now are for America, aren't they? Whereas back then they were all Japanese published.
This is true enough. Yeah.
But even Nintendo makes, releases stuff from American and British developers.
Mm.
Well, they wouldn't do it for a bit back then, but yeah,
they've sort of changed now, haven't they? Because things like The Last of Us, which is kind of Western based or creative video game, which is kind of the stories are so different to the Japanese games of the past, or even the ones that are currently. There's a different kind of cultural change, or just like the approach to it's more like a film.
Well, every Japanese RPG is about you waking up on your 16th birthday and your grandpa's died. He's giving you this sword to tell you that you're a prince. Now go fuck up some monsters.
The bad guy's done something, so you have to walk to a bridge and beat loads of people up, beat up somebody a bit stronger, then walk to a theme park, beat loads of people up, and then eventually you get to his base and beat him up as well. And could you imagine making I was going to say, I've actually seen a film with that plot. I literally have a Blu-ray here of a film with that plot. Look it out.
It's amazing. But also, games back then were insanely hard. I mean, now I've gone back, and we've all gone back and played retro games.
Yeah.
And
well, they had to be hard because they're so short.
Well, yeah, in so many cases, where, especially with the 8-bit micros, where the game would be like 12 minutes long. Just artificially make it really hard, like Ghostbusters 2 or something on the Amstrad or Commodore. But But back then we had cheats and stuff. Nowadays you don't get any cheats anymore.
No, that's a microtransaction.
Yeah.
It is. It is. So I used to love portfolio magazines and find the cheats for a specific game, and getting action replay, getting those codes to have infinite lives, or on Mortal Kombat on the SNES I turned the sweat to red. So that was the only thing to make it look like blood.
Yeah.
But you can't obviously But nowadays the cheats is no longer a thing. I think GTA still throw in cheats.
Yeah,
but you can have unlimited ammo and stuff, but you can't.
They lock half the game off, though. You can't delete it or get any achievements.
The achievements, yeah. That's what you do, If you still get achievements, I'm like, right, I'm fucking god mode on this, throughout the entire thing.
Flying Trevor.
Yeah.
Flying Trevor. That's something I need to Google later.
But yeah, so I think other things are sort of nostalgic reasons why we still love that sort of period. I don't know, maybe just down to because we were there at the time, and the experience of going in the shops and reading those magazines. Video game magazines are a very niche thing now.
Oh,
and there's so many of them.
That was everything. It was it was how you got your information, and then later it's how you got your information and your software.
Yeah.
Like
everybody had just bought it because you get a free demo, get a demo disc on the front.
Absolutely. Or you'd buy Amiga User International because it had like 15 discs worth of stuff compressed on 2 discs. Magazine was dog shit. You didn't read the magazine. You'd rip that away.
Free copy of Amos.
So, yes. The Amos Pro compiler, everybody.
I promise you learn to use it. How the fuck do I get around it? No. I'm going to be the next, Peter Molyneux. So.
I was the next Peter Molyneux. I just made loads of lies instead.
We shaved your head off for it.
Yeah, exactly. The transformation's slow, but it's happening.
But even we had TV shows like Bad Influence and Games Master, which were sort of religious viewing when you're younger.
Well, it's so exciting, wasn't it?
Seeing these kind of, especially Bad Influence, where you had that that report from the USA.
Oh.
And it was this kind of new technology, it was 3DO, or this kind of that guy would go check out these new rides in America.
Z.
Yeah,
Z
rides.
I was going to say Zach, but yeah, it's
It was
Z,
like he's in the
isn't it?
future of Demolition Man or something.
Yeah.
Every time they filmed him over there, it's this kind of weird science centre.
So guys, there's these 3 seashells, right? And it's...
But yeah, that was nowadays it seems information so you can get it straight away. There's no kind of anticipation for it. There's no waiting like a month for your pint. It's always there for you to grab.
In minute updates of good stuff. You don't have
Yeah.
to wait for a 3-month old news from a magazine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was so far behind, wasn't it? Because of publishing deadlines, etc.
Yeah.
You'd be getting literally news from like 2 months ago, and that was the quickest you got it.
Yeah.
You know?
And by then it was either wrong or false.
Yeah.
So we got to look forward to lies.
Yeah, look forward to some lies or massively inaccurate information.
Yeah, I remember CVG boasting they had a preview of the Game Gear, and they told everyone you could play Mega Drive games on it.
Nah.
I remember that.
Getting confused with the Nomad, which came out for the future.
So,
I just told a lie that happened to come true.
and, like,
You were right.
the successor to the Mega Drive's come out. It's called the Giga Drive.
Oh, fucking hell, I remember that.
Yeah. I had a girl at school who said she worked for Sega and her dad had one.
That's exactly what I was thinking of saying. Your other source of news were liars at school.
Yeah. I had a friend who had Time Crisis on a Sega Saturn. 9 scumbag.
Ah.
So it's one of those sort of guys who says, "Oh, my brother's got like a Ferrari. Oh, can I see it? No, he sold it the other day for £1." It's like, what? It's just some sort of bullshit excuse who doesn't want to show you it. He hasn't got it.
Sold it for £1. God, we should have kept an eye on that eBay auction.
Swapped it for a copy of Animal Farm.
Yes. Oh, God.
The pirate copy of Ninja Turtles the movie.
Yeah, oh, fucking hell. I remember somebody coming back and saying, "Oh, I went to this arcade, right? They got Double Dragon 3, right? Hot Double Dragon, yeah, but it's a rip-off. You have to like put in money for extra lives and put in real money to buy the weapons." Nobody believed him. Thought it was some bullshit thing. And it wasn't until like 6 months later, suddenly the machine did the rounds.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh, actually, that was true." Completely
Buy the
true.
weapons, I put money in.
Yeah, it's like the first microtransaction.
What?
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, you literally go in the shop and they go, "Right, that's 10p.
Well, that's a good segue, I
baseball
suppose.
bat, and you also get it knocked off after about 10 minutes, and somebody, the enemy picks it up.
Yeah, and they go, "Oh, I paid money for that." Yeah.
But another segue into that, Stuart, is arcades, which were...
Arcades are the cinema of the video game world.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the Rolls Royce of video games, you know.
Yeah.
The quality, it's like watching VHS at home and seeing like a film on big screen. It was like seeing that leap in graphics quality. It was just amazing. Seeing Daytona USA for the first time. It's like, whoa.
Hope you get a home port that's like half decent in 2 years' time or something.
Yeah.
Some of those, like your Spectrum ports, and some of them were so bad. It was like the difference between cinema and having a small child explain the plot to you. Really, wasn't it?
It's like the British mentality. I never can really complain.
It's like
they just put up with it. Put up with shitty conversions.
It's the best they could do, literally, in a lot of cases.
Yeah,
The Ladybird book adaptation.
Yeah. And then Slimer came along and helped the Ghostbusters.
The audio.
But do you think nostalgia is still like to retro gaming now, being kind of, as you were saying earlier about things being sold, like things like toys made of things, or the micro consoles, as it were. I think because that audience now, who are obviously grown up and look back at their past, they like buying this stuff because they love physical items.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why we still like to buy. If I'm going to buy a game, I generally want it on a disc. I don't want a digital copy of it. If it's like push comes to shove, I'll get it on digital.
So I tend to feel, I mean, there's a practicality in that because there are no digital purchases. There's a long-term loan at best.
Yeah.
Because they will whip it away from under you, and all their terms and conditions are absolutely pushed in that direction.
Especially lately now with PlayStation, you heard about the rot. Virtual rot.
Virtual rot?
Yeah, basically their servers, the games are corrupting on them and disappearing.
What?
Have you heard about this?
No.
There's a big thing in the news that people are losing games they haven't got on their hard drives anymore because the original servers have lost them because they've corrupted and rotted over time.
God, so this server was just literally a single server with a load of hard drives in, and over time the hard drives have gone.
Obviously it's been used so many times, people downloading it.
Shit.
Bloody hell. This is why software preservation is more important than ever.
It's literally some games only been out for a few months.
Whoa!
Maybe that's what's happened to Scott Pilgrim game on the 360. It's gone. It's completely rotted.
It's
Never played
right,
that
guys.
properly
So,
as well.
Well, we've got it downstairs if you ever want to. Because you know Daz from Did You Know Gaming, who shares the office, he helps with the graphics.
Really?
Yeah.
Swish.
Wow.
I like that game.
Good. Always promised an online mode, didn't they? But they never done it.
Yeah, that never came in, did it?
Yeah.
It was a good one as well.
Yeah. No, I think it's nostalgia, simpler times and stuff like that, and just the excitement about it. There's no excitement anymore about modern gaming.
It's all just disappointment instead, isn't it?
Well, games is kind of, I think we had maybe a discussion before, Larry, like, on just a random chat we've had in the past where, like, a game coming out, a new game, big release, it's always big, you always know it'll be coming out on Friday or I think sometimes it used to be a Tuesday, maybe that's kind of Blu-rays and DVDs.
Yeah.
But it was, but games would often just pop out randomly on the 16-bit years.
Yeah, you just find it. Oh, it's for sale now.
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah. I didn't know it was out.
Yeah. Yeah, you had the magazine, because the magazine's always be a month behind anyway. It would just say June. And you think, what date in June? And then the special reserve would just say, pre-order or whatever. Or it's
Special reserve.
that's the price. I love special reserve as a kid. I always complained 50p postage didn't turn up next day. Fucking fuming.
I had something on special reserve that took 8 months to arrive because they didn't have the stock. Yeah.
Here's your Amiga CD32.
Yeah, it was a copy of. It was a Psygnosis game for the Amiga Bale, I think.
Oh, okay.
It was bloody awful.
Never
It finally did arrive. It was like, oh shit.
Well, I compare modern gamers a bit like McDonald's now. I mean, you look forward to it because it's a nice meal, but as soon as it's done, on to the next one.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Is that just because we can now afford the games?
Well,
if we bought something shit back in the day, we were stuck with
it's
it.
about this thing that you got to, if you spend money on something and that you have to appreciate it more or something. But I had a copying device for my Super Nintendo, so I just went through games like that. So.
Naughty boy, Larry.
That's all right. Well, you should charge 70 quid for a game then.
They were.
I'm a grown
Fucking
up.
bonkers, isn't it? There's someone put a picture up on the Facebook the other day showing an old Toys R Us advert. So you think it's the US version catalogue. Had Batman Forever on a Sega Genesis, $65. NBA Jam, WrestleMania, the arcade game, was $70.
God, is your licensing fee. So
Yeah.
I found a receipt. I wish I'd bloody kept this faded receipt from Virgin Megastore that I found from years ago, and it was the day that Mortal Kombat 3 came out on Super Nintendo. And I didn't have a Super. Yeah, so the camera, but so for I bought a Super Nintendo that good day, second hand, when Virgin sold second hand consoles. That was £70. Mortal Kombat 3 was 80. That's £80 in like 1997 or something.
I know it was about 140 quid today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So games are cheaper than ever, unless you're a gambling addict on microtransactions.
Well, yeah. I mean, we all still complain when a new game comes out. I'm not paying £50 for that, but it's technically cheaper than it was back then.
Yeah, in fact, literally cheaper.
Yeah.
So, even if you don't take into account RPI.
Yeah.
But I think there's some sort of false narrative that the games always have to be around the £40 mark, and anything over that, people will get outraged, even though that value's dropped over the years.
Yeah. I think it's all kind of it's so common to us though. I think any slight change or parting with more money is always going to be frustrating.
Yeah.
So thinking about it, it wasn't many years after I spent 80 quid on Mortal Kombat 3 that I bought Soul Blade on the day of release for 30. And I spent a lot more fucking time on Soul Blade than I did on Mortal Kombat 3.
It's a terrible port, isn't it?
Sorry?
Gameplay.co.uk.
No, this was literally off the shelf in game.
Oh, okay, because they invented the old budget thing, the old budget gaming thing, because they accidentally advertised Mortal Kombat for like £25, and they begged to claim if they could do a big bulk enough of it to get that price, and they ended up doing it. So they started doing bulk discounts on all things.
Oh wow!
So that's why they're like £10-15 cheaper than everyone else.
Bloody hell!
Blimey.
They're
Not
not
anymore,
retail.
though.
No, they don't exist. No, well, they got bought by Game and
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Because I used to work for them. I used to do the pre-order videos. It's
Did
like
you?
a video about the games coming out. Yeah,
Oh wow!
got paid £50 a video. Sometimes a free copy. That was big money in them
I was going to say that's almost enough to buy Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah, £50 for a video on the internet back then. It was ridiculous money.
Because how much would you get for a YouTube channel? Fuck all. Because there's no monetization.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
I think that answers the question of nostalgia.
Yes.
In summary, we like games.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're compulsive hoarders who won't let go of our childhood.
Yes.
Well, you two are.
You just wish you were, right?
I'm not a hoarder.
If you know any YouTube channels about People who collect their own piss in Pepsi bottles.
Yeah,
That's us too.
Just go down to Peter's office downstairs. He's one stage off.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. There you go.
Hey.
That's more than 10 minutes, but you know,
Yeah, that's
retro
all right.
gaming's always good to talk about. Let's waffle on.